Now we head to Prix 2000 qualifying heat 2, groups B versus C. Let's take you through the starting grid. On the front row, it's Lorenzo Travisanuto and Jonas Villetsen. Then behind them, Jan Oliver Nielsen and Michael Engström Christensen on row 2. Row 3, representing Germany and Norway, Enrico Gafke in the number 17 and the 157 of Alden Larsen. Tina Bang Jorgensen, the daughter of Finn Jorgensen, the creator of Dino Kart over 6 decades ago. She lines up on the inside of row number 4 with Nick Madsen in the number 14 alongside. And it's time, you Brits, cheering on for Joe Scory. Your man's in 9th on the inside of row number 5, and joining him to complete the top 10 is the number 48 from Denmark, Allan Hansen. 47 of Michael Juncker, 11th, head of Jesper Kilstrup Egerbart in the 131. Alexander Materna, one of the GKC 100 brigade that venture here to Voyen, starts 13th with Martin Hansen in the number 52 alongside on row 7. Angelo Jorda and Torben Koch round out the top 8 rows with Casper de Bruyne, Jeff de Klerk, Alex Rode Internai and Magnus Danesbo rounding out the top 20. So for those that do know of Lorenzo Travisanuto, his credentials as an FIA world ranking, a world champion, 2018 and 2019, won back-to-back FIA, CIK FIA karting OK Senior world titles, and then followed that up in 2021 with the FIA Karting International Super Cup in KZ2 in 2021. One of the other things is that the 2 main engines that Lorenzo has been using, he's been helped and assisted by Sandro Mara this weekend. Well, he's actually on a practice engine now because one of the heads on one of the other engines wasn't really very happy. But 8 minutes plus an additional lap. Travisanuto and Willison on the front row. Lights are out, we're underway. And a good start by Travisanuto into turn 1 as Willison loses out second position through the opening corner. As someone went very wide and nearly had a code brown coming out of turn 2. But Travisanuto hits the front of the field. So who is in second? That is Nielsen in the number 9 as Willison looked up the inside through turn 4. And tried to get through for third place, but unfortunately no room in the inn there, I'm afraid. Into the right-hand hairpin. So it is, at the moment, Lorenzo Travisanuto, Jan Oliver Nielsen, Jonas Villetsen leading the top 3 positions as they come into the final part of the circuit, the double hairpin sector, and then into the 90 right that brings them back onto the start-finish straight. Through the final corner they go, and Villetsen's lost a lot of time. There's been a big roll out of the final corner. 1 over. A big incident at the final right-hander, and that is, I'm not too sure who that was. It could have been Tina Bang Jorgensen. It might have been Tina Bang Jorgensen that was on her roof. So just waiting to see what race control will decide. But there will be a yellow flag situation there. That was a hefty incident. 2 going into 1 did not stick as the number 3 of Jeff de Klerk gets up the inside of Martin Hansen in the 52. So just waiting, and it's red flag conditions. Red flag conditions. Race has been stopped with just over 6 minutes to go. So red flag has been called. A big, and it was Tina Bang Jorgensen, and I think the other driver was Joe Scory in the 171. Had a very lengthy chat with Joe earlier on, and he said, well, I'm not on my own equipment, so they are going to line everybody up on the start-finish straight. So red flag has been initiated, and Tina Bang Jorgensen, she has been feeling a little bit under the weather, but I hope she's okay. So red flag stoppage, and that just goes to show how close it can be. So we are red flag stopped in qualifying heat 2 for Prix 2000 groups B versus C after just a lap and a half of racing. after a scary incident involving Tina Bang-Jorgensen and Joe Scory. So we'll keep you updated once I know anything with regards to Tina and making sure she's okay. So red flag at this point in time as the marshalling crew are working at the scene of the incident just happened a few seconds ago. Okay, just a little bit of an update for everyone in the paddock and also for those watching on the Voyens Motorsport Arena YouTube channel. I've just been informed by our race director that Tina Bang-Jorgensen is all fine, just a little bit shaken up after that incident. So we are going to do a full restart from the original starting grid. However, it will be reduced from 8 minutes to 6 minutes plus an additional lap. So they will do a full-blown restart, as I've been informed by the race director. So the original grid will go back to very, very shortly. But the main thing is that I'm so glad to hear that Tina's okay. She, as I said earlier on, she has been feeling a little bit under the weather. So we'll be getting back underway very, very shortly with a full restart for qualifying heat B versus C for 6 minutes plus an additional lap on the reduced timer on the counter. So the drivers are making their way through to the final sector of the circuit. So we'll be back underway very, very shortly indeed. So some drivers opting to weave from side to side to check the steering's all okay. And also maybe get a modicum of temperature into the front tyres. So we are back underway after the red flag stoppage. And again, oh, dearie me, that's getting a bit close and hairy through into turn one. I did see Jonas Villertsen very much under pressure as Lorenzo Travisanuto has Enrico Gafka in the number 17 swarming all over the rear bumper at the moment. Then we've also got Michael Engström Christensen now looks to be in third place. Jonas Villertsen again just seems to have a couple of dramas in this race. He's currently running P4 at the moment behind the number 30, but Lorenzo Travisanuto being closely followed by Enrico Gafka. Jan Oliver Nielsen rounds out the top three ahead of Jonas Villertsen and Michael Engström Christensen. So third, fourth and fifth really hotly contested. Michael Juncker in the number 47 looks to be very, very quick as well. Currently running P6, but Travisanuto only having just over a tenth of a second advantage over Gafka, who's just put in the new fastest lap of the race, and Gafka closing in under braking is under braking, going up the inside of Michael Engström Christensen with the back end snaking under braking was the number 9 of Jan Oliver Nielsen. As Engström Christensen returns the favour and retakes the place back. But now they've got Michael Juncker in the number 47, whilst Gafka trying to battle away with Travisanuto. Well, Willitson has gotten through, and now Oliver Nielsen gets through on Engström Christensen, a retake of fourth place. But Travisanuto now needs to start pulling away and see what he can do to try and keep in front of Enrico Gafka. So Travisanuto, Gafka covered by 2.5 tenths. Willitson in third, and so is the number 1. Oh, that's the 157. Aldin Larsen, I've just seen a little bit further back. He's closing in on the number 48 of Alan Hansen. And they've got the number 80, Michael Engström Christensen. And also Jan Oliver Nielsen in the number 9 in front. At the back end of that train is the 131 of Jesper Kihlström Egevad. But with 1 minute and 45 on the timer to go. Oh, we've had a big incident into the 90 left. Heading into the next right-hand hairpin. I see 5 carts involved. And that is cats amongst the pigeons right about there. So 5 drivers will not be making it to the end of this race. We've still got 1.5 minutes left on the timer as Travisanuto leads out of Gafka by nearly 4 tenths of a second. Jonas Villadsen is a further 1.7 seconds adrift in P3. There's going to be quite a lot. There's going to be a lot of repair work needed between now and the next heat. If they are in Group C, Group B will have already done their 2 heats so far. Oh dear, I've spotted quite a few casualties that might not be making it through. Jan Oliver Nielsen, Alan Hansen, Magnus Dannesbo, Martin Hansen, Jeffrey de Klerk, Torben Koch rounding out. There is literally, that corner is going to be nicknamed Carnage Corner after what just happened there. But Enrico Gafka keeping Lorenzo Travisanuto. Very, very honest indeed. We've got 25 seconds on the clock, and Travisanuto has a lead of just over 0.3 of a second ahead of Enrico Gafka. And when I spoke with Lorenzo and also Martin Christensen from Team Brask earlier on today, I said, well, it's probably costing us the best part of 0.3, maybe half a second in terms of pure flat-out pace, in terms of engine speed and also performance. So Lorenzo just doing everything he can, just keeping it all tracking true. So yeah, Jan Oliver Nielsen out, Alan Hansen out, Magnus Dannesbo, Martin Hansen, Jeffrey de Klerk, and Torben Koch out of the race, I'm afraid, on lap number 4. We're on lap 7. So it is still the battle between Travisanuto and Gafka for the race lead. And mechanical black flag is being shown to the number 60. Angelo Giorda rounding out second place. Rounding out 7th place. As next time around, I'm sure we will have the checkered flag. So, Angelo Giorda's exhaust very, very noisy, and has just been passed by Joe Scory in the 171, the man from Norwich. It's going to come down to the wire. Kate, yes, Tina is absolutely fine. A little bit shaken but not stirred, in the words of James Bond, but she's absolutely fine. So Lorenzo Travisanuto is going to try and just keep Enrico Gafka at bay, and has done so for the last few laps, including on the restart. And the Italian, the number 90, Lorenzo Travisanuto, out of the final corner, will pick up the win in Heat 2. Groups B versus C in just a lap's time. That's one thing I'm getting. That's the thing. Like, we have final lap, and then I get confused by the timing. So, what we've got is the cross, the black cross on the yellow flag is last lap. However, that has really embroiled a little bit of a battle between. 131 has just been passed, I think, by the number 171. That's Joe Scory. Joe Scory has just fired it up the inside of Jesper Kilstrup Egerbot and is now going on the offensive against Nick Madsen, coming out of turn number 4. And Scory's going to throw it to the outside. He's going to give it a shot. He's got round there. What a move from Joe Scory, 2019 F100 champion in his respective class. We had a talk about the fact of, I went to Buckmore Park to get an understanding of night racing, and he said, yeah, you probably saw the fluorescent side of things, as Travisanuto wins Heat 2 by next to nothing ahead of Gafka by just over 0.3 of a second. Jonas Villadsen takes P3. 4th, it's going to be Michael Engstrom Christensen, who's going to be 5th. It's going to be the 171, isn't it? Joe Scory takes 5th. He did say, I can overtake. Well, folks, if we, that is just a sign of things to come, round the outside coming out of turn 5. Yeah, he was definitely giving it the berries. He finished ahead of Jesper Kilstrup Egerbart. Nick Madsen rounding out the top 8. Kasper Brunn 8th. Kasper Brunn 8th. Alexander Matana, Alden Larsen, Michael Juncker, and Alex Roda Intanai rounding out the drivers that finished 12 after what happened just a few moments ago on lap 4. Angelo Giorda out on lap 7 with a mechanical black flag. Jan Oliver Nielsen, Alan Hansen, Magnus Dannesbo, Martin Hansen and Jeffrey de Klerk out. Then also we had the big incident early doors with Tina Bang Jorgensen, who was out on the opening lap after contact with Joe Scory, which brought out a red flag stoppage, and Tobin Koch, unfortunately, also one of the drivers affected. But that is it for the second qualifying heat, groups B versus C. Next up, we've got the second heat for Prix 89.